is that indicative of a pretty tough clash yesterday against the D's?
Yeah, they were actually they were really good. Really pushed us in the second and third quarters, and we had to really fight for that one, which is sometimes I think it's a good just to grind out a win, and we're happy to get away with the 4 points and refocus now for St Kilda.
Is it fair to say the team went missing in parts, and consistency still a bit of an issue?
Not necessarily. I think it was just they outplayed us in parts of the game, and that was it. So. You've got to give them a lot of credit for. I think they've improved a heap since we last played them last year, and I thought they were really good. They got some terrific guys down forward. Hogan was a real handful doors at times, taking some good marks. So when you got those guys down there, who are winning their one-on-one battles, they're going to kick a decent score.
As skipper, how impressed are you by the way that Lindsay Thomas has come back in?
Yeah, he's been super impressive. So I think he needed to go out and get back to playing the football that we wanted him to play. And ever since he's come back in, all the guys that we've brought in, Taylor Garner giving us some great forward pressure. Lindsay's been terrific. But to see him, I suppose, get a good match up on the weekend and capitalise and kick 5 goals, he was outstanding.
5 wins in a row. What happened against the Gold Coast that triggered this little run?
I don't know. It was I think we just didn't show up that week, which is really disappointing. That's the one thing I suppose you can control is coming out with some intensity, and sometimes your execution's not always great, but there wasn't many guys that turned up on that day, and so we've we went back to some real basics, really focused on what we thought we could control, and so far it's been working.
Was it the wake up call you needed?
It's not the wake-up call we needed, but it was just, I suppose, really refocused. Brad came back, and I think the break was good for him. He got a different perspective on the game, and probably learned a few things through that time off. So to have him back, the guys refocus. Since then it's been okay.
Todd Goldstein's form. Just how would you describe him? Do you think he's been a big part of the success with the stringing 5 together?
He's an important part of our team, but he's been outstanding all year. Even when we've dropped games, he's been in our top 2 or 3 players every week. So he just keeps continuing to deliver every week. He's such a athletic guy for how tall he is, and he moves around, and he's like having an extra midfielder. His clearance work now is outstanding.
Do you think he should maybe be getting his suit ready for the Brownlow? Just get ready for the big night?
I'm not going to tell him that because don't want to get ahead of himself. But he's having an outstanding year. An All-Australian year at the moment, and I hope he goes well. But as long as he keeps performing for us, that's the main thing.
Is top 4 achievable?
If certain results go their way, definitely. But we just got to continue to win. If we win, and a couple of sides above us drop a few games, we might be a chance. But we're not going to know until probably the last round or 2.
It's a tough run home as far as the teams that you play, but the fact that you get to play 3 out of 4 of them at Etihad Stadium, it's not bad.
Yeah, it is. I think the Doggies are outstanding at the moment. Probably one of the form teams of the competition. So to play them, going to be a really big challenge. We played Richmond early in the year, but they've seemed to really found their form and going really well. So, them with Freo as well, we've got a massive, final month ahead of us.
Nick, can you think of another year where it's been so tight? I suppose just to make the 8, it's been pretty tough. And like Scotty said, that you can pretty much be 10th and then move up to 5th or 6th.
I think that's probably a reflection on where the competition's at. I felt probably over the last decade that every year seems to be harder. The words of easy games or just a walkover are gone, and I look at our last month and we played against teams that are lower on the ladder than us, but they're not easy games. I reckon yesterday was a real example of that you can come out and be up by 5 goals at quarter time, then half time it's pretty much level. And just to go on from what Spitter spoke about then, I don't feel like we did a lot different or a lot wrong in that second quarter, but we just got beaten in certain contests, and all of a sudden it's level at half time. It is even, and that's it's a beauty of our competition. It is so competitive at the moment that you don't have to be much off your game to be made to look pretty ordinary. So it gives us an opportunity over the next month to really put our foot forward and see how we go.
Having been through it yourself, are you impressed with the way that Shaun Higgins has played this year?
Yeah, he's a good player, isn't he? He's had an amazing year. A lot's been said about Goldie, but I reckon Shaun Higgins deserves a lot of credit as well. He's His pre-season was amazing. He didn't miss a session. He was probably our best on track for the 3 months of the pre-season. So for him to have a full year has given him a great opportunity to perform. And his last quarter yesterday was, I think, 2 goals and another 10 or so touches. His ability to run out the game and also finish gives us a little bit of bit of polish, which is lovely.
Do you think that fans forgot how good he was, given the injuries that he had?
I think fans probably are remembered or reminded about how good he can be. I mean, he's been so unlucky with injuries, and looking at him from the outside, you've always rated the way he plays his footy, but it's always been a little bit inconsistent because he just hasn't been able to get his body there. But as I said, with the pre-season, 3 full months of training, he's been amazing for us along with Goldie this year.
Higgins limped in for scans today. Do you think he'll be right to play?
I didn't even know he was going in for scans. I'll say yes, simply because I don't know.
He wasn't giving much away, so we're in the dark just as much as you are.
He manages his body pretty well. The one thing you know about Higo is he'll do everything he can to prepare. He gets his body right. He's very diligent with his training, so we'll see how he goes, but I'd like to think yes.
What have you made of the tough calls that Brad's made in dropping some senior players that he probably hasn't done in the past?
I love it. I love the stance that Brad's taken. I don't think it's necessarily anything really new. I just feel like he's realised where we're at as a group and what we need to stand for and what we need to do to be successful. There's been guys over the last 6 to 12 weeks that probably haven't been doing that, and therefore they need to work on it. It's not necessarily a negative on them as a person, but they need to get their football to be a bit more consistent the way that we want to play footy. And I think Lindsay's the perfect example, and I heard you ask about him earlier. The way that he's responded and his performance yesterday to get goals or reward for effort, I think, is a really nice reward for him in the way that he played his footy yesterday, so it was great.
And is it as much the way that he comes out afterwards and says, I was being lazy, I accept that you kind of admire the fact that he just, meets it head on? Yeah,
footy clubs are pretty honest, and the guys in this playing group in general are really honest people as well. So, when there's no hiding. I mean, you get your name mentioned in the paper, all 5 of them, and then internally your name gets mentioned as well. So you know where you're at. There's no hiding. And for guys to take it on the chin, go back, play seconds, perform, and then get their opportunity again and step up is exactly what we need. So we've got 4 more weeks to do it, though.
What's the latest on Daniel?
On Wellesley?
Wellesley, yeah.
He's still training. He's doing a good job. I know he's progressing back slowly. We're as frustrated as I guess people are and supporters are of North Melbourne. We want him to play. I think the whisper is, and I think Brad might have even said it last week, a couple of weeks away from being back out there with us. So we're waiting for him. That's pretty much where it's at. We haven't had him for such a long time, but it'll be a nice little bit of icing on the cake when he does get back.
How would you describe your musical attributes, I suppose, or what we're about to be doing?
My musical attributes are very limited. I think I played triangle in the primary school percussion team back in Bendigo. I try and sing, but I know I'm hopeless, but I'm happy to have a go at it.
Favourite song to sing?
Oh, God, favourite song? I really like... No, I got nothing. I was even going to try and give you a line, then I had nothing. Couldn't think of anyone.
North Melbourne themes?
Yeah, or North Melbourne. No, the boys talk it up. I like One Direction. I went to the concert. That's about it. I've just read Anthony Kiedis' book from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, so he's my number 1 at the moment.
Come on, then.
No, that's it.
And just quickly, Andrew, you've obviously been involved in grand final breakfasts over the journey. How great a day is it?
Yeah, it's outstanding day. I went a couple of years ago, and yeah, I think it's I suppose recognised as the number 1 grand final breakfast. Obviously all the big names come. Have the Prime Minister there, so we're really excited that North Melbourne gets to host it again this year, and to come down here is going to be a great thing. Hopefully, be nice and warm, and good way to start the day.
You were pretty upset about the scar on Instagram a couple of weeks ago. Are you happy with how it's healing up?
It was going okay. I was a bit worried during the game on the weekend because Jack Siebel ran through me, but a bit of a graze, but otherwise it's all good. So the boys been getting stuck into me because I've been wearing my headband the last couple of weeks. They weren't too happy about that, but it seems to be going all right.